Now, this may sound a little crazy at first. I mean, Nintendo games take place in these magical worlds dominated by all these powerful creatures with special powers and abilities. I'm me. But I'm confident there are several Nintendo games I could go from start to end credits in real life without dying. First of all, let's get the easy one out of the way. Every Animal Crossing game. I mean, you just live, right? It's a life simulator. The biggest obstacle would be living with talking animals. And Tom Nook, which now that I say it out loud, this would actually be really cool. But let's take New Horizons for example, a game that takes place in a deserted island. Surviving that would be out of my comfort zone, but definitely possible. But then Nook gives me a tense, and there's fruit all over the island, so that automatically makes this a breeze. The closest thing to taking damage in Animal Crossing is getting stung by wasps, which if that happens, I'd just go to the local drug dealers to heal myself. I'd also have to learn how to pole vault over rivers until I could afford a bridge, but honestly, couldn't you just swim or even walk over it? I think I could even jump over it, but I might have some issues moving a few furniture items such as a Ferris wheel or the Statue of Liberty with my bare hands. You don't need that stuff though. For the most part, I'd just fish, craft, harass my villagers, decorate. Heck, this would probably be better than my current life. The entire Animal Crossing franchise is an easy survive. Next, you saw the thumbnail, every Pikmin game. This is simply because I'm not doing any combat myself, the Pikmin are. I'd just grow a bunch of them and send them to take out all the enemies. The objective of Pikmin games is to collect materials and items while knocking out enemies in your way. Also, this is assuming everything is human scale and not 5 inches tall, otherwise this would be easier than Animal Crossing. The plot of the first game is Olimar crashes his ship and enslaves these plant aliens to collect his scattered ship parts and go back home. This is easy. I'd just send the Pikmin towards the ship parts and keep plenty with me in case an enemy is bold enough to mess with me. Sure, the Pikmin might get eaten or stomped on, but better them than me, right? I'd also make sure to keep my distance from enemies. Chuck the Pikmin from 40 yards away like I'm Tom Brady. Worst case scenario, an enemy starts coming at me while I have no Pikmin, which in that case I'd bring out my most powerful tactic. Run. Just start sprinting the opposite direction. Ain't no two-legged bullborb catching up to me. Heck, in the games, when the day ends, you automatically get teleported to base. So in a life or death scenario, just run or hide out until then. Sure, it'd be tiring, but I'd argue that's better than dying. Even if I don't have that ability, just keep your distance from danger, always have plenty of Pikmin on hand, and I think I could easily survive every Pikmin game, especially when Ochi comes into the mix. And you know another franchise I could easily survive for reasons similar to Pikmin? Pokemon. Man, if I was a Pokemon trainer, I'd be the best, like, no. I'd be good. But more importantly, I'd be safe, because the Pokemon are the ones who fight in this world. You're in a war? Use Pokemon. Need to enforce laws? Use Pokemon. Kid is bullying you in school? Whip out your level 79 Dragonite. This is definitely worse than Pikmin though, because you could still be attacked by a Pokemon, and some stupid legendary could probably destroy the entire world. Oh wait, we already have those. But clearly this isn't too big a problem, because the residents seem to be completely fine, both in the anime and the games. An evil organization is trying to destroy most of humanity with a weapon of mass destruction? The 10-year-old next door will handle it. But actually, no. In this hypothetical, I'm the protagonist. I'm the one taking down the evil team and champion. But I think I'd still be fine. I just have to be careful. In Pokemon Origins, Blue got crushed by his own Blastoise and was hospitalized, so trainers can be hurt by Pokemon. To me, the best way to protect oneself from dangerous Pokemon is with Pokemon. What I would do is go on insane training arcs and overlevel my Pokemon. I would cause Pokemon such as Rattata and Caterpie to mysteriously go extinct, and I would steamroll everyone else with my level 50 Charizard. I would also use said Charizard to fly to all the cities with gyms. And since I'm grossly overleveled, I would destroy anything in my path. I would also travel with my 6 strongest Pokemon out of their Pokeball following me, just to radiate a threatening aura everywhere I go. And dangerous wild Pokemon, like legendaries, just keep chucking Pokeballs at them until they're caught. Literally, the games are turn-by-turn RPGs, so the opponent gets to attack every time you fail. But in real life, Chuck breaks free, Chuck breaks free, Chuck breaks free, Chuck breaks free, and repeats. Or just always travel with a Pokemon that has Prankster and knows Thunder Wave, then just paralyze every threat that comes your way. And pull out a shotgun. All in all, the Pokemon world is definitely much more dangerous than the Pikmin world, but with proper protection and strategy, I could take out the evil team, get 8 gym badges, and defeat the champion without dying. Me, that is. My Pokemon would die at least 100 times each. Next up is a game where being a regular human is actually to my advantage. What's dangerous to the people of this world is completely harmless to me. Splatoon. Inklings and Octolings die, or splat, when they get bombarded with too much ink. But me? It'd just be the startup to my clown career. I'd win every single turf war these people have, cause I'm immortal. Hand me a splat roller, and I'll just start painting every corner of the map. Now, even though I can't die, the opposing team can still paint over my paint and win the turf war, but I'd just shoo him away. or kill them, that works too. Or I could be the guy on offense, taking out everyone while my team inks the stage. Editor self here, I think that would be playing defense, not offense, so the exact opposite of what I just said. It's also worth mentioning that none of these dudes can go in water. I can go for a nice swim and have the pool all to myself. I could also go on a massacre with a plastic water gun. And don't even get me started on the ranked modes. Tower control. I'd have more trouble watching paint dry than losing tower control. Literally just go on the tower and do nothing. Just stand there and watch the tower move towards the enemy base as they try to stop you. In fact, they'd have to physically push me off, which is where my teammates come in as bodyguards. Clam blitz. I would just grab all the clams and bring them to the goal, and I would do it slowly to troll the enemy team. Splat zones. Just stand in the center of the zone and snipe anyone who comes near. Literally a Secret Service agent. And then Rainmaker. If I got my hands on the Rainmaker, the opposing team would just drop dead. Now honestly, I've really only played the online modes in Splatoon. I've never really messed with the story mode. I searched up Splatoon 3 bosses, and the first thing I saw was a giant robot shooting its hand at the player. So I'm gonna go on a hunch and say no, I die in the story mode. But the actual main online modes? Absolutely. Alright, the next game I'd survive is Super Mario Bros., the original NES game. It's a 2D game that automatically makes it easier, right? But also, just look at the level design. This is easy. I would start on 1-1. First off, jump on the Goomba. This really shouldn't be difficult. It's moving at a fixed rate, so I just jump where it's going to be when I fall down and kill it. And then, I'd get a super mushroom, which doubles my size. From there, I could stomp on enemies. Jumping over the pits would definitely be scary, but also possible. Just get a big running start and... But everything changes once I get the fire flower. If I had a projectile I could kill enemies with from a distance, I'm breezing through this game. I would go very slowly, knocking out every enemy I see from 30 feet away. The pits would still be an issue though. Sure, just take a leap of faith, but I'm specifically worried about these one block jumps. My plan would be to get that same running start, jump, land on the single block, then immediately jump again and make it to the other side. I think there's one Zelda game I could survive. Hyrule's a world infested with dangerous monsters, has harsh climates, and worst of all, the inability to pet dogs. Its main hero uses a sword that only he can wield, so I'm completely useless. You know the quote, "A sword wields no strength unless the hand that holds it has courage." My hand has no courage, so I'd be useless either way, but even more so. However, with all that said, the one game I think I'd survive is Tears of the Kingdom. Just kidding, I'd die on the opening cutscene. It's actually Echoes of Wisdom, for reasons similar to Pikmin and Pokemon. The Echoes do the fighting. As you can see, I'm a big fan of making other things fight for me. In Echoes of Wisdom, Zelda gets the Tri-Rod, which means I get the Tri-Rod. This thing is what allows Zelda to copy things and make echoes of them. The game only allows you to copy a select number of objects, but that's for balancing purposes. In real life, I could copy anything, but I'll limit myself to only objects found in the Zelda world, so no echoing the San Diego Zoo unfortunately. So first of all, yeah, enemies. I'd copy enemies and send their echoes to fight. That's thinking too small though. I'd also copy trees and just crush people with them. Heck, what's stopping me from copying an entire house and dropping it on an enemy? And when it comes to the bosses, including the final boss, just copy them and initiate a mirror match. I only have to win once. The opponent has to win every time, because I would just keep respawning the echoes. In fact, with that logic, this might be easier than Animal Crossing. The Tri-Rod is overpowered. So with that brings me to the final Nintendo game I could survive, and it's probably my boldest claim yet. But first, let's quickly go through some other games that didn't deserve their own segment, but I could easily survive. Wii Sports and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games games. They're just sports games, so it's not like I would be dead, just humiliated. Tamagotchi Life, for obvious reasons. WarioWare, you don't actually die if you fail in the microgames, right? You do in Mario Party, but here the main character, me, kinda just looks upset. If I'm actually in the microgames though, that's a different story. Big Brain Academy and Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Sword. I know, I'm very courageous for taking on these games. But finally, the last Nintendo game that I believe I could easily survive is Luigi's Mansion. Now, hear me out. I'll specifically talk about Luigi's Mansion 3 here, because that's the one I played. This game sees Luigi trapped in a hotel with his friends missing. The main premise of the game is to capture ghosts and solve puzzles to find elevator buttons to go to different floors. The main goal of the game is to defeat King Boo and rescue all your friends. This is easy. Assuming I have access to the Poltergust G00, if a ghost comes my way, just suck it up. Wait a minute. Some of the boss fights may be troublesome. For example, this one tries smashing you with the piano, which might cause some minor injuries. But if I had the opportunity to memorize the boss fights ahead of time, like if I studied the game, then got transported into it, I would know all the boss's attacks and know how to dodge them. But here's the kicker. I would also have Luigi to help me, or in this case, Johnny, Wonderbits. I'm once again gonna force something else to fight for me. If Johnny dies, I'm all good. The real me is still alive and I could just summon the goo again. I would just send it to do all the dangerous stuff while I play Wordle Daily in the back. And if I'm the one controlling Johnny, well, I'm practically immortal because I can just keep coming back, so I do a bunch of stupid reckless stuff until I succeed. And for the instances where the real me has to contribute, that's where I play it safe and have my flashlight and poltergust on standby. Heck, solving the puzzles would be the harder part for me. I already get lost in-game, but in real life, with the fear and distraction of being in a haunted hotel, it might take me a week to clear one floor. But yeah, I genuinely think I could survive Luigi's Mansion 3 from start to finish without dying. The main concern are the enemies and bosses, and for those you either fight with Luigi or very carefully. And if neither of those work for whatever reason, that's where Plan C comes into play. I kidnap Egad and use him as a shield and sacrificial distraction.